Fox 61 News at 10 starts now.
We were stuck in a back room. We didn't know anything that was going on.
Right now at 10, new details on the shooting at the Buckland Hills Mall in Manchester. We're hearing from shoppers who were there and updates from police as they look for a suspect. Plus, new details tonight as an arrest is made more than a year after a crash on a Connecticut highway that killed 2 women and sent 5 other people to the hospital. And as drought concerns rise across Connecticut, especially in the east, we'll tell you how apple orchards are managing and when we may finally see some rain in the forecast. And we begin with those new details on the shooting at Buckland Hills Mall in Manchester. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Brent Harden. Police are searching for the man accused of shooting a loss prevention officer at the mall this afternoon. Police say it happened just before 12:30 right outside the Macy's department store. That loss prevention officer was shot twice before the suspect ran off. Fox 61's Gabby Molina joins us live outside Buckland Hills in Manchester with what we're learning about the shooting tonight. Gabby.
Brent, so far no arrests have been made, but Manchester police say that there is no threat to the public at this time. It was still very terrifying for shoppers who were inside of the mall at the time of the shooting, though.
When it first happened, we were definitely all in shock. We were not expecting, obviously, to come to the mall and then for this to happen.
Shots fired at Buckland Hills Mall in Manchester. A 27-year-old loss prevention officer shot in the stomach in the parking lot of Macy's Friday afternoon.
It was what we believe an attempted apprehension of a shoplifting suspect, which, obviously the injury or the assault turns it into a robbery.
The suspect fled the scene and still hasn't been located. Police releasing surveillance photos, hoping someone will recognize the man. For hours, a massive police presence surrounding the mall. Several roads were blocked off to traffic as investigators and canines searched the area after the shooting, including 2 nearby hotels.
We are still conducting our investigation here. We are investigating any possible lead that we have, trying to make sure that we're doing the best we can to keep the mall safe, the hotel safe, and everyone in this area.
Shoppers inside the mall at the time described scary moments of confusion during a lockdown.
We were stuck in a back room. We didn't know anything that was going on. I had friends that were sending me pictures of the news and stuff. That was the only way I was really hearing anything from the outside.
Buckland Hills Mall remained open Friday, but Macy's closed following the incident. In a statement, the company said in part, "We're deeply saddened about the incident that took place today at Macy's pavilions at Buckland Hills. The safety of our customers and our colleagues is Macy's top priority." Police told us that the victim was conscious when he was taken to Hartford Hospital, where he is being treated. It's not clear at this point, though, how serious his injuries are. If you think you recognize the suspect in those photos, you're asked to call Manchester Police. Live in Manchester, Gabby Molina, Fox 61 News.
Yeah, hopefully someone will see that photo and know something. Gabby, thank you. Right to the weather now, and time for a first look at the forecast with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. And Rachel, I'm looking at your forecast, and I'm seeing some chance for some real rain for a change. Not a ton,
right,
but at least significant rainfall.
And this is going to be for Monday. So as we head back to work, kind of looking and feeling like a Monday, although rain at this point is sorely welcome. We need it so badly, and I think we could end up getting anywhere between 1/4 of an inch to around an inch of rainfall. So we will take what we can get. But first, we got to get through the weekend, and that's okay too. Great weather for outdoor plans, but we do stay mostly dry. Right now, we're looking at temperatures in the low 70s for Chester, close to the 80-degree mark still for Windsor Locks. Clouds are increasing out there, and I do think we start the day off with a lot of clouds out there tomorrow, so a mostly cloudy start to the day. 7 a.m. temperatures are right around the 70-degree mark, but we do break for sunshine, and temperatures will climb into the mid-80s to right around 90 degrees as we head through the afternoon. In the afternoon, there is a chance for a pop-up shower, especially around I-84 and areas north and west of I-84, although most of the state is going to stay dry if you have anything going on outside. The other thing you'll notice about the day tomorrow is that it turns more humid. Not oppressive levels, but just enough that you're kind of noticing it outside. And at the Connecticut shoreline, high temperatures climbing into the mid to upper 80s as we head through the day tomorrow. For Sunday, another cloudy start. We break for some sun and then that rain for Monday. Your full forecast coming up.
Rachel, thanks. New at 10 tonight, a North Branford man is dead after crashing into a tree in North Haven. Police say it happened on Route 17 around 1 this morning. When officers arrived, they found that car, which had hit the tree. The 31-year-old was the only person inside. He was taken to Yale New Haven Hospital, where he eventually died. Anyone who may have seen that crash is asked to call North Haven police. Also new at 10, state police have arrested a man wanted in a crash that killed 2 of his passengers on Wilbur-Cross Parkway in Woodbridge more than a year ago. Troopers say 38-year-old Juan Fernandez of New Jersey turned himself in Wednesday. He faces 15 charges in all, including 2 counts of negligent homicide and reckless endangerment. Troopers say last August, Fernandez was driving an SUV on the Wilbur Cross when it went off the road and hit a tree. He and the other 6 passengers were taken to a hospital. 30-year-old Sarania Albino de Fernandez died there that day. 27-year-old Zionette Santos de Gil died from her injuries a month later. And a man is in the hospital tonight with very severe injuries after a construction accident in Rocky Hill. It happened on Parsonage Street. Police say a 45-year-old man suffered injuries when his leg was impaled by some object. He was taken to Hartford Hospital. He is expected to survive. His identity has not yet been released. Well, there are now 73 confirmed cases of monkeypox here in Connecticut, and Senator Richard Blumenthal is calling on Congress to act. Senator Blumenthal, one of 13 Democrats who wrote a letter to Senate leadership asking for more response from the federal government on the public health emergency. In a news conference in New Haven today, he said the U.S. has the resources to beat monkeypox.
We are in the midst of yet another public health crisis, one that is solvable if we bring to bear the resources that this great country has.
Senator Blumenthal and his colleagues are also calling for expanded supply of monkeypox vaccines through the Defense Production Act, along with more testing and treatments as the U.S. reached more than 14,000 cases nationwide. Well, state environmental leaders have detected the West Nile virus in mosquitoes in Windham County for the first time this year. The Northeast District Department of Health says the mosquitoes were found in Woodstock. West Nile has now been detected in 17 Connecticut cities and towns. There have not been any human cases of the virus reported. Connecticut's Social Equity Council has approved 9 lottery applicants for cannabis businesses. The approved applicants include 4 delivery services, 2 micro cultivators, 2 product packagers, and 1 retailer. The council previously approved 5 retailer applications for social equity status. 3 equity joint ventures were also approved, but they don't need to go through the lottery. Those who received approval will go to the Department of Consumer Protection for further processing. The state says recreational marijuana sales could start by the end of the year. A celebration in New London today as members of the U.S. Coast Guard and government officials commemorated the start of construction of a National Coast Guard Museum. Fox 61's Alicia Machado is in New London with a closer look at the plans.
I'm here on the U.S. Coast Guard Eagle, a tall ship currently docked in New London, and take a look at this amazing view behind me. The New London waterfront is going to be the backdrop for a new museum set to begin construction next week. 230 years of history on the seas, and now the stories of the men and women of the United States Coast Guard will have a place to call home. The National Coast Guard Museum set to open in 2024.
It's long overdue. You know, and I'm overjoyed that it's in Connecticut, my home state.
For retired Coast Guard radio men Matthew Tracy from Waterbury and his wife Linda, this marks not only a happy moment for their fellow guardsmen, but also a special occasion.
Today's our
anniversary, 45 years.
We met in California going to Coast Guard school.
They signed a piece of the building in New London Friday afternoon at a keel-laying ceremony, a long-standing tradition in the shipbuilding industry. This marks the start of construction on the 80,000-square-foot building that will have 5 stories, including a top floor with an event center and views of the waterfront.
I can't wait to see the end when it's built and we can go in and see it and enjoy it with our family and children.
The museum will share the history of the Coast Guard with visitors through more than 200 galleries and exhibits, including simulation and virtual reality experiences.
We haven't had the place to tell those stories to the American public that we serve, and arguably we haven't had a place to honor those stories for ourselves. And that's why celebrating today's milestone in this journey towards a Coast Guard museum is so essential.
The museum will cost $50 million to build. Funds from the federal government have been set aside for the design and construction of the museum exhibits. State funding will help create a pedestrian walkway that leads to the museum and nearby areas. Lawmakers also touted the economic growth this will bring to downtown New London and the surrounding areas. Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro says that it's estimated to bring $20 million per year to southeastern Connecticut communities. In New London, Alicia Machado, Fox 61 News.